Welcome to Best of the Nest, a program produced by the television production students of Armstrong High School that takes a look at things from the students' point of view. I'm Nolan Howman of AHS-TV, and today we'll be taking a look at everyday heroes in and around AHS. Let's get into it.
Hello, I'm Logan Hooks of AHS-TV, and in this segment of Best of the Nest, we will take a look at everyday superheroes and how it is viewed from the student's perspective. We will be talking with Miss Miller, Miss Prifty, and Miss Ortman to get a hawk's eye view, but first, let's take a closer look at local superheroes.
Every community has their own local heroes, and today we're talking about one hero in particular. This person felt a calling towards the service of his country, and then he enlisted in the Army at 17 years old. Now he's here to talk to us about his experience with the military. But before we get to him, we're going to ask some people their opinion on what makes a hero. I'm Connor Swartz with AHS-TV, and today we're here with
Kaylee Robb.
And we're asking Kaylee Robb, what makes a hero? Kaylee?
I believe a hero is a person who puts their own wants and needs after everybody else's, someone who will just go out and do actions that are going to be more beneficial to others. A hero does not wear a cape.
Truer words have never been spoken. Thank you.
Go.
What's your name?
Luke Moore.
Luke Moore, what makes a hero?
Just having the courage and bravery to be able to stand up to somebody.
I love it. Thank you.
Go.
What's your name?
Kate Stiller.
All right, Kate, what do you think makes a hero?
Someone that has the confidence to lead others.
I like it. Thank you. What's your name?
Lisa Allison.
All right, Lisa, what do you think makes a hero?
Someone who does something for the good of others.
Cool. Thank you.
Go.
What's your name, sir?
Mr. Swanson.
All right, Mr. Swanson, what do you think makes a hero?
I think a hero is made by selflessness, compassion, doing the right thing, and I think it's most heroic when a hero does those things or exhibits those qualities when nobody's looking or there's no benefit to be had from it.
Thank you for your input.
No problem.
Now to Brandon with AHS Security.
Hello, I'm Brandon Kugis with AHS-TV, and today we are taking a closer look at the security office.
The Armstrong High School security team is an amazing group of people. Security starts their day by moving students and visitors through metal detectors quickly and efficiently, but they are more than people movers. Our security team is highly invested in keeping everyone who enters the building safe. The main way they do this is by monitoring all of the building cameras. As you see, security is set up right at the front of the building, giving them an amazing view of the busiest location of campus. When asked about the best part of their job, the answer was emphatic. Our security team is rewarded daily by building positive relationships with students and staff through the building. It's these relationships that we have with our security officers that prompted us to include them in this episode of Best of the Nest. Back to you, Connor.
And now to the interview with Sean Swartz. Hello, I'm Connor Swartz of AHS-TV, and today we're taking a closer look at local heroes. Today we have with us a veteran of the Persian Gulf War, Iraqi freedom, and other engagements. We have Master Sergeant Sean Swartz.
Hi.
Well, Sean, what branch and company did you serve in?
I served in the Army. I was in about 7 different units, but I spent the majority of my time in the 332nd Engineers.
Oh, wow. Can you touch on your experience serving in other countries?
I served in 7 different countries, mostly building things for people. We built 3 schools, 2 hospitals, a bunch of roads and runways, that sort of thing.
Oh, sounds like heavy work.
Yep.
How long have you served?
29 years, 7 months.
Oh, wow. How has the military affected your life?
Pretty much everything in my adult life came from the military. I started off, was 17-year-old, joined the Army, and I've been pretty much with them ever since. Every job I've had pretty much came through or for the Army.
Wow, that's dedication. What types of options are available to veterans to serve their community when they return home?
A lot of veterans get jobs in local police forces or industry and try to put the stuff that they learned in the military to use in civilian life. There's also volunteer options for helping out the VA and local veterans groups, parades, and stuff like that.
Do you have any words of wisdom to our viewers before we depart?
I would say always try to do what's right, even when everybody else is doing wrong. Right is always right, even if nobody's doing it, and wrong is always wrong, even if everybody's doing it.
Thank you for lending us time and giving us insight into what it means to be a meaningful member of our community. Thank you for your service, and now we're heading back to the studio.
We're going to take a short commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest.
Going on to college signals independence, but independence doesn't mean you have to go it alone. At IUP, we'll assign you a guide from day one, someone you can turn to for advice or encouragement. And our Q&A center will point you in the right direction and get you the answers you need. We know a little help will take you a long way. We believe in you. IUP.
Students in communications media at Indiana University of Pennsylvania can focus on a variety of areas, including media promotions. Our promotions students learn their skills by working in a hands-on environment, gaining real-world experience. They learn how to use media to promote, produce, and manage events, and how media organizations operate. They create promotional campaigns and help clients pitch their services, products, and events. With excellent classes led by experienced teachers, the Communications Media Department at IUP is perfect for students interested in media promotions.
And we're back with more of AHS-TV's Best of the Nest. I'm Nolan Hallman of AHS-TV. Let's jump right into our look at everyday heroes in and around AHS.
I'm joining Miss Miller, Miss Prifty, and Miss Ortman in the nurses suite to talk about everyday heroes. Thank you for joining us today. What are some of your thoughts on nursing at Armstrong Junior Senior High School?
I think it's a very nice place to work, and it's busy. It's a lot busier than my last school, but I enjoy it, and I have fun here with my friends.
I agree. I think it's nice. We can work as a team to get all the job done, and we work pretty well together in here, which is nice. And it is a lot more busy than my last school also, but it makes the day go faster.
I agree. It's a great place to work. You meet a lot of nice people, and everybody is very helpful.
What made you get into this career?
Into nursing or school nursing?
Nursing.
You know what? I'm not real sure. That's just kind of life took me down that path, and I think I've always just wanted to help people. So I guess that's where it led me, and then here I am.
I was looking for something that would make a good career, so this seemed like a good opportunity.
I actually had a family member. My godmother was a nurse, and I always looked up to her, so I again felt like I wanted to always help people, so it was a natural thing to do.
What kind of training prepared you for the day-to-day nuances of this job?
The place I worked at before had a lot of education. It was a rehabilitation hospital, so we did a lot of education with the people trying to gain their independence back. So I think this helped as well because we're blending education and healthcare, and I think it's a very good fit where we can teach the kids not only their reading and writing and arithmetic, and they are also teaching them health matters that will benefit them for the rest of their lives.
Well, I worked in a hospital for about 13 years prior to becoming a school nurse, so I had to learn how to make decisions quickly and be confident with my decisions. And also I ended up being a charge nurse for a while, so I would do the daily classes for new parents who were going home, because I worked on a mother-baby floor, and then I also worked in the NICU with babies, so we did lots and lots of teaching. So most of my day, a lot of times, was just doing classes and teaching parents and going over all that. So kind of all blends together.
I'm a lot like Dana, Mrs. Ortman. I also worked in a hospital for about 8 years. I did high-risk labor and delivery, so there was a lot of critical thinking and quick acting. I feel that that's beneficial here because we have some emergencies that is how we have to respond. And again, I also did charge nurse, so it teaches you how to prioritize activities and do paperwork and kind of work as a team with everybody. So I think that's the same for me.
Were you inspired by anybody, and if so, how?
Oh, I don't know. Like to become a nurse or just in life?
Yeah, just to become a nurse.
Oh, no, I think that's just something I always knew I wanted to help people. So I think I'm inspired by people around me who do good things, and then it makes you want to keep doing good things.
I wasn't inspired by anyone in particular. I just thought it would be a rewarding career.
I will go back to my answer of my godmother, who was an Air Force nurse back in the 40s, which I thought was very interesting, and I heard a lot of stories. And I just, again, wanted to help people, and knowing that how she did that and the things that she told me, I looked up to her.
Can you describe to us a typical day in your life?
My life at school?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first thing in the morning, generally we have students coming in needing triage for different reasons, sickness. Some might need an elevator. Sometimes parents will call us, or we have teachers emailing us. So immediately when we get here, we usually have a lot to do. And then as the day progresses, we have students that we see for different medications and different things. Emergencies come up. Meetings, we have meetings with different staff members. So every day is sort of a surprise. So we have to be very flexible and able to just, we just have to be able to do things differently, quickly. So that's just how every day kind of goes.
I think we all have the same every day because we're in this office together. So, the only thing is we just will, if someone's doing something, the other one gets this side, someone is taking the phone call, someone's, running to check on a student. So kind of the same day, but just all in a different rotation.
Yes, it's very fast-paced, and it keeps you moving, and it goes very quickly. So that's the nice thing about it.
What is your favorite thing about being a school nurse?
Well, just being able to connect with students and help them get through the day and help them get through challenges, and do what I like to do is being a nurse and taking care of people, but then also doing it in the school, which is helping kids and hopefully giving them a positive someone, to look forward to make good decisions, to do things. So kind of can relate that all together.
It's definitely the students and the staff and the coworkers. It's just a very, it's a challenging, but it's an exciting environment.
I feel the same way. I enjoy interacting with the students and trying to help them. I feel like I try to treat them as I would treat my own kids and do whatever it takes to make them a better person. But we also get the nursing part of it too, which, you just never know what you have to do at any given time, it makes it exciting. So.
What made you go into being a school nurse specifically?
I really just thought that I wanted to have another option in case I ever wanted to leave the hospital. And I knew I liked to work with children, and I had family members that worked in a school. So I thought I would just continue my education and try that. And I didn't realize it was going to happen so soon. But I was glad because it worked out perfectly in my life, and I'm very, very happy that I chose that.
Mine was probably more my kids became school age, and then I was interested, like, I wonder what that school nurse does, kind of what that job entails. So I subbed for a little bit to see if I liked it. I did. I just had a lot of time interacting with the kids, helping, because there's some medically fragile kids that go to school too, so helping them get through the day. And then I just was hooked after that point. So here I am.
Yeah, for me, it is the schedule. Whenever my children went to school, I wanted to get into something that went along with their schedule, and I subbed for a while, and then a full-time position came up, and here we are.
What makes you a hero at this school?
I'm rather quite uncomfortable with that term. I don't particularly think that I'm a hero. I feel that I'm just doing my job and I'm being who I am as a person. So I really am uncomfortable with that, but I just feel that anyone can be a hero. Anyone that helps another person or makes somebody's day a little brighter or more positive, in my book, is a hero. So I think I think if you just kind of are trying to do good, that's what I try to do every day. Some days more than others. Everybody has a bad day, but overall, I think it's just something that just being kind and doing what I can to help other people.
Same. I'm not sure I would say hero. I think I'm just doing what I was made to do and taking care of people and just what human nature made me to be. So I wouldn't say that's a hero. It's just trying to do the right thing.
I agree with what they both said, 100%.
During the pandemic, your role magnified. In what ways did your job change?
Oh, that was interesting. It changed a lot. I think our workload it increased probably by 70 to 80%. Not only were we triaging more students, wearing the mask every day, the paperwork that we had to perform on top of triaging all the increased students coming in for the Department of Health was just mind-blowing. But when you know you don't have a choice in the matter, you just sort of do what you have to do to get through it. And I think that that's what our training has taught us as nurses and our various other, jobs that we did. We didn't complain about it because it could always be worse. And we were very fortunate to be in a school as opposed to into a hospital at that time. So we try to look at the bright side of the things and appreciate what we did have. But it was a lot more work. It was very difficult to determine who was truly sick and who maybe, wasn't sick. And it just, it was sort of a whirlwind, and we're glad that it's over for now, and hopefully we won't have that again.
Same. A lot of work. Pretty much I'd have 10 voicemails when I came in, so anything we were already doing was times 10 at that point. Just lots of phone calls, lots of the paperwork we had to do for the Department of Health was more than you could ever imagine. Doing hours of work at home as well, besides just here. So it was a lot, and I'm glad we're hopefully past that at this point.
Yes, it was challenging and it was confusing as well because they would change the guidelines a lot. So one time you would have to be excluded from school for this long, and then another time you'd have to isolate for this. They just always were changing things. So it was very nice when they eventually loosened the restrictions and things got to be back to normal. So we're very grateful for that.
What types of challenges did you face?
I think knowing whether or not we were doing the right thing, second guessing ourselves. I think that, a lot of times when you have a sniffle or you have a little bit of a cold, it wasn't such a big deal. I don't know. I just feel like there was just all kinds of different challenges that we had never faced before. So just communication with parents, the amount of, a lot of people weren't happy with the decisions that we had to make and with the things that we had to tell them if their child was excluded. And it was really hard on us because we don't make the rules, we just had to follow them. So, and I think sometimes people forget that. They think, you do what you have to do based on the experts, and how we kind of managed our office.
Mine was, I always would say this through this, there's just not enough minutes in our day. The amount of work there were just not enough minutes. You could move as fast as you could multitask as much as you could, but it was just keeping up with the overall workload was a lot.
Yeah, it was the same thing, just, trying to make sure we're following the guidelines and explaining everything to the students and their families so we were all on the same page.
What were the rewards you reaped from these changes?
Oh, rewards from all the changes. I'm not really sure about that one. Maybe just testing our own skills and making me trust my judgment and trust my assessment skills and my instincts as a nurse. that might be it.
I think it makes me appreciate what we have now compared to what we had, and to never take certain things for granted again and just become complacent.
I agree with 100%. I appreciate everything a little bit better now, and every day that it seems to get overwhelming for different reasons, I take myself back to those days, and it brings me out of it really quickly. And I think if you're constantly doing that in general out of life, that's what I take out of it the most.
In your opinion, what does it take to be a superhero?
Oh, just, I think being a helper. I think that any helper, what's Mr. Rogers' line? Look for the helpers. I feel like the helpers, by far, helpers in your friends, helpers in your family, if everybody kind of made that their mission, it would be such an easy world. If that's a simple thing. I just think if you make that something that's important to you, then you're a hero in somebody's world someday.
Agreed. I was going to go to Mr. Rogers too. Always look for the helpers. So anyone who's willing to do something that's not just for themselves, you reach out to somebody. As I always say, look at the firefighters. They run into a building to save people. The person that runs towards it to try and help things, and police officers, right? They run towards things to try and make a difference in some way. So anyone who's a helper, right?
Yes, there's the big important things like that too, but sometimes even just a little thing. You see someone at Walmart trying to reach for something, and you just give them a hand, and just to be a good person and help others. That's a superhero.
And to wrap things up, who do you think your favorite superhero is, and why?
I would say that my favorite superheroes are some of my students here at school that are very special to us, and their classrooms are very close to ours. The joy that they bring to us every single day is amazing. And I think I look at it as a superhero as people that are going through hard times and situations that, are unreal and kind of hard to imagine. They're my superhero.
I agree completely with that. Mine would be everyday people who just try to do the right thing and be good people and help others.
They took the words out of my mouth.
Looking back on your answers regarding what it takes to be a superhero, I'd like to say that I see all those attributes in you and what you do for us. I'd just like to say that we appreciate all that you do for this school. We are thankful we have such amazing nurses like you taking care for us.
That's our show for the week. Best of the Nest is a production of the students enrolled in television production courses at Armstrong High School. Join us again next time for a look at some of the unique things happening in and around Armstrong High School from the students' point of view. Until next time, keep on storing.